So last time we designed those poses in Photoshop. Now it's time to work directly in 3D, guys. First things you see me doing is tilting the line of action of the shoulder, the angle, to the right position. Then I take the neck and the head together and adjust it. You see me adjusting only the neck because of course I want the neck pointing towards left, the head's towards right. I want to make sure that I see both eyes very clearly for this pose and tilted the head down to make sure I get the right angle. All right. I move the camera slightly down, but feel free as usual, guys, to test it to what you think is the best. Don't just copy my tutorial. An issue, guys, I had with these poses is that when I was using the rig has some limitation on the eyebrow, so you can go down up after a certain level, and so I cannot achieve exactly what I was doing. But again, I need to do the best as I can with the tool that we have. That's one of the things I always wanna to achieve, right? So you can see from front view looks okay, but from the down, when the camera is down, you don't have the same angle that you want. Right, so I try my best. I should have used blend shape, but it's not the point of this tutorial. So I didn't want to focus too much on the facial, mostly on the head staging. But as you can see, you can still get a quite good result. Okay, so you see me here try to squeeze the lids, but at the same time I need to be very careful because I want the pupil and the eyeball to read very, very well. Okay, then of course after it's finished, you can always tilt a little bit more the head and explore. So this was another one where the difficult part here is that you have, as you can see, you see the character from the back, and you don't want to tilt the head too much. Okay, if you rotate your head too much because the character is looking back behind himself, right? If you're doing that one, the common problem is it started to look broken. So I think you can do around 80 degree or something. All right, but not past that line, or else it started to look too broken. Again, you see me here doing another with the camera slightly below. I think because it gives a little bit more of a interesting angle, something I couldn't capture very well for my drawings. The good things is that I use the drawings just to get the right feelings. Then in 3D, I can improve the perspective and adjust it the way I want. Okay. Oops, there was a little bug over there, right? And if you're looking for the drawing reference, you can see in the previous video, by the way. And again, same here. I try to exaggerate the facial expression. Again, this tutorial is not so much about the facial expression, but I did it very quickly because it helps the overall appealing mood. But as you notice, as we talked before, already when you just tilted the head, the shoulder, and the neck, and the eye direction, there is already a lot you can do just with that one, right? That's the point. Try to push those things and make them look more interesting as much as you can. Difficult part here was to get the right shape of the eyes because, guys, when you started to tilt the head in those more advanced position, sometimes keeping the lids very clean, you need to do a little bit of cheating. All right, you can always sometimes with the facial rig doesn't always look good from every angle, so you need to try your best to be creative and use those controller to use them the best way possible. Here obviously you see me pushing the body slightly down. Overall I tilt first the neck and the head down, but then I wanted the eyes looking up. Okay, now again the challenge here is because if you tilt the head too much down, then you don't see the eyes anymore. So I needed to start to open the lids a little bit more, push the eyebrows up, and use this controller here to open up a little bit more the facial expression. So as you can see, the controller just let me modify the entire upper skull, right? And here I need to push this one because I want to make sure that the eyes are always very clean and crystal clear, right? Then slowly, you see me here, what I'm doing, like I'm opening up the lids, having the eye direction a little bit higher, right? There is a deformation here I need to take over. Okay, by the way, this rig is really nice for the facial. I think it's quite good. So if you have the chance, try to get it because it's really, really cool to use. And here sometimes you see me, even sometimes explore a little bit, what happens if I put it a little bit more down the head, tilt it a little bit more the side, just to see how the vibe looks, if the vibe actually change, okay? That's something, guys, I always want to encourage you. Don't just copy, explore, try different solution. You never know. Sometimes just moving around, you might find up something interesting. And same with the camera. Sometimes I wanted to frame the character, as you can see, a little bit closer, a little bit more down, a little bit higher, right? So even when I do those poses, like I constantly explore. And here again, I move the mouth a little bit more down because I wanted to have a bit of a gap between the nose that is very big to the mouth shape, all right? So I'm trying to adjust the corner even more. Sometimes say, what happens if I push it a little bit more on the side? Okay. The idea is always that, you should have fun when you do those things. So here, I'm going to slowly try to push the eyes close together. This is another one where, again, I wanted to have the kind of the head going further away from us, from the camera. So as you can, is the camera is still slightly bottom, looking up, but the neck is pointing further away, right? Then again here, in this specific case, for example, guys, I decided to have just one eye visible. I wanted to rotate that a little bit more and make sure it's only one eye visible. I think it gives it a little bit of a mystery. You know what I mean? So I think I was having really fun with this. And again, make sure this case I didn't open too much the lids, right? And then again, try to push the mouse shape here. So yeah, I wanted to have this kind of wave shape for the mouth, right? And again, see me here exploring a little bit with the direction of the lids, because as soon as you push it too much up, because the camera is below, you don't see much anymore, okay? So I actually lower the upper lids and push down the lower lids, all right? So this is another quite fun where, again, we have the body facing one direction, neck and head in one direction, the eyes again in the other direction. So it can be quite efficient. Again, you have to be careful when you do this counter rotation from the neck to head. If you start to do it too much, like the way I drew it, like sometimes you get away, but in 3D, it's very easy that things looks broken anatomically. All right. But I say this could be interesting enough. So even though here in this first pass I didn't push too much the facial expression, just the eye, it's a lot more interesting already. All right. And then again, I'm exploring now here with the facial expression. There was a little bit of a glitch here, and I'm pushing down a little bit more the mouth. Okay. Moving a little bit more to the side, slightly moving the lower part of the skull. Okay, see once also the facial started to get more interesting. See, I'm opening a little bit more like this. Try not to be too exaggerated, all right? Because else still start to look too broken. Okay. So we try to have those line that go from bottom left to top right. Okay, because you want to guide the direction of the audience. I'm pretty sure you see those line of action on the eyes millions of times. So that's what you see me doing here. And again, exploring here a little bit with the lids. Try to have a very clean upper line. And very quickly here, I want to also take a look what does it look like if you close the mouth, right? Sometimes I like do this kind of experiment a little bit. So this one was another one quite interesting because originally I designed with a female character. I tried very quickly what I was trying to achieve. It didn't look very good. So I said, you know what? Let me try the challenge to see what can I do with a male character for something that obviously was designed for a female character. Want to give it a try. And It's not exactly perfect, but I think the result is still quite interesting. As you can see, obviously, again, I have that shoulder overlapping, not as much as did in the drawing, because then it suddenly looks too weird for a male character. I closed the eyes because it was part of the gesture, and it removed immediately the eye direction problem. And now I'm starting to design the line of action of the neck, adjusting the shoulder a little bit, tilting the head a little bit more, right? I was playing a little bit here with the jaw, try few different position. You see also how the head is slightly tilted down towards the camera, not perfectly flat because I don't like to have the head flat to camera, but I was trying to adjust it a little bit more and make it a little bit more appealing. Okay, see him doing the final adjustment there. Here I was just refining the position of the eyebrows a little bit. Okay, I think it was a little bit too extreme. It looked a little bit too broken. Okay, again here, see, I always start with the upper body. I know sometimes I'm using the COG because it's a little bit faster. It's only for the sake of this tutorial. But again, this time the camera is higher looking down, and because I want to have the line of action of the shoulder kind of surrounding his whole neck, right? and and then the idea is again is kind of looking while the bottom is while the entire overall upper body is facing bottom left. I want them to look away top right. Okay, if you can see even from the sketch, it look like he's thinking about something, he's scheming about something, and that's only because the body, the upper body, and the head and neck and the eye direction are staged in a certain way. Okay, that's why you get the mood, that's why you get the feeling. Then once you get this one first, once you achieve that, then you can only purely focus on the facial expression and start to improve the line of action of the eyebrows, the mouth shape, blah blah blah, right? But first it's important to get right the direction, okay? See me also here, for example, the eyebrows are so low that you don't see the upper lids anymore. Back then, I thought it was a problem, like I always need to show the upper lids or something, always needs to be there, but actually that's not true. When you do more stylized animation, it's okay if the eyebrows go so down, push so much down, that you kind of lose a little bit the upper lids, right? Almost like the eyebrows became the upper lids. If you see in the left eyes, you see that the eyebrows cutting three-quarter, one-third of the pupil, and also could be a cool stylistic choice. Okay, and then see me also adjusting a little bit the entire eyes to give it a little bit better of freedom here. And I was moving obviously to the smile. You see me here just sculpting little by little. And by the way, guys, if you want something more in depth about facial expression, because here I did it very quickly, all right? But if you want to see a little bit more in depth about facial expression, understand the design and everything, there is another tutorial always on my channel. Always recommend you to go and take a look, all right? Another thing to notice, I always want to make sure that I can see very clearly the teeth. So it's important to translate the teeth to make sure you're getting the right mood again, right? You're getting the right line of action expression here. Right, guys, and here you see me repeating more or less similar process. Again, it's an upward is a down camera in the sense that the camera is again looking down. But again, this is completely different mood, obviously, right? I wanted the still we're going with the same idea that the body is facing one way and the head to another one. Because doing that, with a sad facial expression, with the eyes looking bottom left, okay, it will make the character look like he's thinking about something, okay, he's thinking and reflecting on his own emotion, all right, plus being reinforced by the fact, that the expression of the eyebrows and the mouth, he looks very sad. But you see, like, again, framing it in this way, as the mood is a lot stronger, okay. So sometimes you see me adjusting the position of the eyes to see what could be best. But again, as you notice, when I do those things, I'm always quite subtle with these things. All right. So the difficult was with this big nose was a bit difficult, a bit challenging to showcase the mouth expression. And I hid in that case the teeth because it just was getting to the way and it didn't improve the poses. So I just hide the teeth back then for the poses. Um, this was another one where I just wanted to do a simple smile, but as I said before in the other video, rather than do a camera very flat front of the camera, everything staged kind of frontish to camera. What about try to make it a lot more appealing, having the shoulder up to make it a lot more female, and then the head slightly tilted to the left, head maybe pointed down, and started to work on the eyes, right? Another things I notice, people tend to think about, okay, it's a generic smile, right? Yeah, I don't have to do anything on the eyes. The shape of the eyes is already good as it is. That's very wrong because eyes somehow always need to be adjusted. Can always most of the time you cannot leave what is considered the generic eye shape. You want to modify a little bit and find interesting things to stage it a little bit more. Okay. Here I was trying to make sure that the lids don't follow too much when I move the eyes. Okay, that's what I was trying to fix here. And so I could move them perfectly independently. Okay. I was also always adjusting a little bit, experimenting a little bit with the entire direction. How much should I push the shoulder, right? Yeah, see, even though the eyes are still not perfectly done, it slowly started to get better and better. And see, once you bring the lids down a little bit, it started to look a little bit more interesting and less generic. Okay. See, overall rotating and adjusting it a little bit. Make sure that the shape of the eyes, when you have the eyes so big, extremely important to have the shape of the eyes crystal clear, okay? And you see, once we start to add the smile, things now started to get along very, very well together, slightly pushing them out a little bit more on the side. And the final touch, I adjusted a little bit more the the hair in front of it, right? Just to make sure it was a little bit more visible. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as well while you see me doing the final touch. And if you have any question, write it down in the comment as usual, or else we'll see each other next time. Ciao, guys.